Okay, another good day at work. Cleaning some things up. Yesterday was really concentrating on cleaning up and improving in the red zone, and today was on third down and special teams. So it's good that our guys will get some time off their feet, some time to catch up academically as well, and we'll get back to work.
You mentioned yesterday that one of your most pleasant surprises so far has been the defensive line. Coming into the season after you got Silas, you kind of shifted number one concern from running back to that group. I mean, how surprised are you that they've done as well as they have?
Well, pleasantly surprised. It's any time that you can have a game, a conference game especially, and you're able to get pressure like that, and have 9 sacks all by defensive linemen. I don't know if I've heard of that before. So it was great to see, and we need to continue that. And hopefully we get J.R. Devine back, because J.R. is one of our more experienced than the rest of those guys, and that would help us too.
How much did it help to have Wes back? I know he didn't have as many of the sacks, but it seems like he created pressure that led to other guys getting sacks.
Yeah, I think that was really the first game that Wes was effective in. That he was able to really push off and go, and so it was good to see. Obviously, we'd have loved to have him the whole time through, full speed, but moving forward, I think it'll even be better.
The fact that these guys are playing full speed, is that kind of just reading into their own abilities, or is it kind of, with young guys, you just got to turn them loose and let them play?
Well, I think we've got to credit Ed a lot on this too. He's developed a lot of great ones here, and to do it this fast with these guys is very exciting for our future, because they're young.
Considering Utah's defensive line, do you think this is the second real test you'll really know where your offensive line is after this next game because of what they've been?
Well, I wouldn't say that. We played some very competitive teams, and this will just be another test. I think the test won't be a second test the way that you're asking. I think it'll more be, can we continue to improve the steps that we made, over a week, last week? Can we continue to make those steps and improve even more?
It seems like every week we're talking about Morgan Breslin, but what did you see from him against Cal, and what do you continue to see from him at practice?
Relentless play. Morgan played every snap of the game, and that's where we'd like to have JR, so we get more depth to be able to rotate in there. And he played every snap, and the first play of the game, he makes the play all himself, with the tackle in the backfield, and the last play of the game, he makes the sack. So pretty cool story to point out to our guys. The guy playing the first snap of the game and last snap of the game at the same speed.
How has Leonard been able? 250-pound guy that looks like he's a cross-country runner, and he just keeps running and running forever. Yeah.
I think probably where we saw a guy similar was Arizona State, with the freshman kid from Colorado. His impact, I think he was defensive freshman of the year 2 years ago in the conference, and the impact for a smaller guy that he made because of his effort and the way that he could lean and rush. And I think that's what we're seeing. I think that's the most similar thing.
What can you tell us about his personality? He's declined all interview requests.
He does not have a personality at all. But he did have a girlfriend, they said, this year, which was very surprising, because we don't hear him talk. All he says is fight on.
Really? He doesn't say anything?
No, he really doesn't. We try to get him to in meetings. Friday night meetings, we try to get him to talk, and he just says fight on.
In the Cal game,
and Coach O likes it that way.
In the Cal game, it seems like you guys could have put that game away in the first half. Just how much of an emphasis is on finishing games by this coaching staff?
Yeah, we'd like to get to the championship level where we're finishing things off, not just in the fourth quarter, but throughout the game, within the series. And if you look at this game a year ago, it was very similar to that. We had more yards than them, and it looked on paper like it wouldn't have been so close as it was. But we didn't finish some drives off. We don't convert on a fourth down. We turned the ball over in the red zone twice, I believe. So something that we've got to do if we're going to be one of those teams.
Do you think you know your team's identity now after 4 games?
Well, I hope it is what we saw last week. That was a great identity. Very physical. Run the ball, stop the run, rush the passer, protect the passer. I think we know if teams are going to play us in normal coverages, we know what can happen outside. Like what happened when Hawaii played some single high in the first half of that game. Matt's got 300 at half, and the two receivers are playing well. But if their defense are going to keep playing this way, we have to have this other element, which we did last week. So I'm hoping that's the identity of our team, not what we had seen 7 days before that. But I do think, like everybody, that Khalid is a big part of that, and the kicker, just helps us play normal.